And then I'll have to go home and deal with
and
it.
figure it out. Yeah. Is it on?
Yeah.
So we were just talking about the other question about assessment for kindergarten. Really, whole group assessment is really hard for kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know, it's really best to do small group instruction and really ideal to do one-on-one, assessment. It's really ideal to do one-on-one assessment with the scholars so you can really get to know them.
Yeah.
And that's hard with 30 scholars. It's really hard. So in the beginning of the school year, in the summer, before school starts, the parents bring their scholars in for like a pre-assessment.
Right.
So we can see just where they are and who they are and get to know them academically and personally. So we do that, which is very helpful. And then every time we have a report card, we do pull one-on-one and assess the kindergartners to see where they are in terms of the skills that we've been doing. And then like I said, I had a notebook that I just take notes on the kids throughout the year to help me, something might happen in their family, taking a note on something that, why are they not focused this week? Will something happen? And if I know that, then it helps me to, lay off or, do different things to better meet their needs for even just that week. But definitely one-on-one assessment's best for kindergarten. Small group assessment later in the year works okay.
Yeah.
With, like I said, easy things like a picture and circling it, or coloring this, doing that. Very simple things. And whole group assessment it's we've done it, but it's really not ideal to see really what they need.
Yeah.
And that's really the point of instruction. The point of assessment is to really drive what we do. There was a quote that I found and I wanted to read it. It said, assessment is today's means of understanding how to modify tomorrow's instruction.
Right.
So it's the way for us to find out what we need to do tomorrow.
Yeah. And the thing that really stood out to me when I was going through all of this stuff is I read that they say, yeah, you have all this great information, you have all this great data, but it's only the changes that you make from that information that has any meaning.
That makes it matter.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Why test? For me, it's like, why test if you're just going to, he doesn't know that. Okay?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Okay, he doesn't know that, so let me figure out how do I help him to know that?
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
what can I do to better my teaching to make the experience more meaningful of whatever topics we're doing. Things like that. So I really look at it. I used to not look at it because it was, I didn't know. I didn't understand. I just thought it was just for the grade on the report card. But now I really look at it and say, oh, I need to really sit down and work with these scholars on this. I really need to, take these scholars to a higher level because they're ready to move on. And I really try to do that. And it's really kind of later in the school year, halfway through the school year in kindergarten, when we really start, this group's working on reading strategies. This group's reading on, focusing on fluency because they're already reading. This group is, they don't know their letters, so we're going to be going over their letters. And we really, this group is writing up a storm, so we're going to continue in writing.
It's fascinating to me, too, because even just in the math, when I'm doing math groups, I can see, like, Eliana reading, like large words.
Yes.
And then a couple of the boys were going very quickly on their work, and they were doing it neatly, so it wasn't just scribbling.
Scribble, right.
Yeah. And so there's like little clues all the time.
And that's when you go back and you take notes really quickly. Oh, so-and-so's, lines are all over the place, or very poor pencil grip, or, totally following directions. And then you go back and you read them and you say, wow, and then you can see a pattern of what's happening through the year.
Yeah.
It takes a long time, but it's worth it. It takes a long time if you look at it in 30 kids, but if you're just, every day maybe a couple notes on a couple scholars.
Yeah.
That doesn't take that much time.
So when they go up to first grade, does the first grade teacher look at all of that? Because it seems like to me, if I were a first grade teacher, I'd be like this.
What? Who are they? We do.
Like
we fill out. We
like,
write a lot about the scholars. We put all their assessments in
and
cards.
then it's nice
stuff.
because the teacher can
then
just
come
and talk to you about it if there's questions.
Right, exactly. And then they've already have kind of an idea of where this child has been and needs to go.
Yeah.
For kindergarten, we don't know anything about them, so we have to have them come in, which is nice in the beginning of the summer. That way, you don't take
and
up all that time.
And now it's going to be different again because with TK, you're going to have some kind of record of what they have been doing for the last year, and that's going to be interesting. But then you'll still have some scholars who haven't been to preschool.
Never been to school, So knowing that, maybe those scholars we take, and those are scholars others that we're going to start. We start at a different level with different things because of you know they've been exposed to this already.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting, and
It
I love. I mean, I love seeing the assessments, not because I like making them work hard, but
Right.
because it's an opportunity to help them.
Mhm.
And that's really what I want to do. So
Absolutely.
and I think it's sad that we place so much emphasis on the score,
I know.
because it shouldn't be about the score. It
Right.
really should be about how can we help them.
Right.
And I think for teachers it probably is how can we help them, but
Right.
for administrators and
For a lot of times for teachers it isn't too. And like I said, when I first started teaching, I didn't realize that, you know, what really the assessments were. I just thought, oh, you got an 85%.
yeah.
You got a B. You know, I'm thinking, well, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
It means, oh, 15% of that test, what didn't they understand? Let me go through and see what my teaching needs to, you know.
And it seems like to me, with the smaller margins, like if they were 85%, it seems like it would be so much harder. Like if they're doing very poorly, there's so much room for growth.
Right.
But you've got a student at 85 or 95%. How do you help them? You know, it seems like to me as a teacher, it would be even more difficult in some ways.
Sometimes it is.
To figure out, okay, they're at this level, but they still have a lot more improvement they can go. I mean, there's always enrichment, but if they're at a B level, it's just they're not
kind of
quite
tweaking them a little. Well, that's it. You look at what the specific skills and things are that they need, or their, you know, their interests and their, you know, where they are, and then you work on those things, and then you take them to that next level. You know, okay, so you didn't know numbers 12 and 15, but we've played games with them. We've done this. We've done that. We've flashcard. We play games, whatever. Now you know them, so now let's go up to 30. You know, okay, now we've done this with the 30. Now let's go to 40. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So you just see where they are, and well, just like our little girls, the EL learners, it's amazing. They came in with nothing.
Yeah. They
didn't know one English word, sound, nothing, and now you know they both know all eight phonograms that we've focused on.
Yeah.
And they know 12 to 15 names of the letters. You know, things like that. That's like wow.
They're impressive. The one thing that's interesting to me is when they speak, they don't have an accent.
Oh. Yeah, you're right.
They don't. And I thought that was just really fascinating. Like, how is it that they have spoken Russian
all their whole lives, right?
And then when they speak English, they have no accent.
Yeah, you're right. Interesting, yeah. Very interesting. I didn't think about that. I never thought about that.
So I don't know what causes that, but it's interesting.
I don't know. But anyway, so so I think that it's really assessment is just amazing in that you can use that data to really help you be a better teacher.
Yeah. And I think that's really what
teaching's about.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Good thing I enjoy being better, because that's
exactly. You really have to be more